Every time we pull up to a petrol pump, we brace ourselves for that familiar, wallet-draining blur of numbers. The meter spins higher and higher, and you can't help but wonder why filling up your tank feels like an absolute luxury. Are we actually staring down a true national fuel shortage? Or is the pain at the pump the result of a massive, engineered game of taxes and politics? The confusion really hits when you look at global markets. When the international price of crude oil drops, you would expect this stubbornly high rate of over 115 rupees a liter to drop with it, but it rarely does. There is a massive structural disconnect between what India actually pays to import the raw liquid and what you are forced to hand over to the cashier at your local station. To understand where mobility in India is heading next, we have to tear apart exactly why this pricing system is broken, right down to its foundations. India is one of the world's largest oil importing nations. We buy the vast majority of our raw fuel from other countries, leaving the entire economy heavily exposed to the swings of the international market. But that crude oil is completely useless to your car. Turning it into viable petrol requires an enormous scale of industrial processing at massive refineries. Once refined, the liquid demands a sprawling logistics network. Fleets of tankers have to physically drive that fuel thousands of kilometers to reach individual stations. This diagram shows the true anatomy of a petrol receipt. You start out with the base cost of international crude oil at the bottom. Then you stack on the fees for that refining and the overhead for transport. But the true cost comes next. Add in the local dealer commissions, and then drop the heaviest burden on top: government taxes. The raw liquid and processing fees make up only a fraction of what you pay. The rest is taxation. And this structure explains the paradox. When international oil gets cheaper and that bottom block shrinks, domestic taxes frequently expand to fill the empty space. The total height of the stack, the price you pay, stays identical. High petrol prices are a direct consequence of a domestic economic framework that uses fuel consumption to drive government revenue. Now, zoom out from a single liter of fuel to the entire nation. India's population is booming. With that growth comes hundreds of thousands of new vehicles pouring onto the roads every single day. The sheer volume of mechanical demand is staggering. We are rapidly scaling up an infinite demand for mobility while relying on a highly volatile, strictly limited, and heavily taxed liquid fuel source to power it. Taking an exponentially growing consumer base and forcing it to depend on an expensive, finite import creates a mathematical trap. Eventually, the math breaks. Global oil prices are set by external markets, and domestic taxes represent a massive fixed revenue stream for the government. This leaves very little room to lower prices without compromising the national budget. The shift to electric vehicles and renewable energy offers a powerful way to bypass this imported oil supply chain altogether. Replacing combustion engines with electric motors swaps a volatile foreign commodity for domestically generated power. This is why the government is pushing EVs so aggressively. It is a strategic economic maneuver designed to decouple the country from imported oil. So, what do you think? Should we keep fighting a losing battle to force the petrol prices down? Or is the future of Indian mobility destined to be completely electric? The pressure at the pump is forcing a choice between clinging to an imported, taxed past or investing in a domestically powered future. Tell us your opinion in the comments and subscribe for more deep dives into the forces shaping our world.